Person is facing charges for driving under the influence and hitting a pedestrian in the Heights Point neighborhood. Metro Police say it happened just after 11 last night on Breckenridge Lane, close to the I-264 ramp. Officers say the driver did stay on the scene, and the person who was hit was taken to a local hospital with serious injuries. As of now, police have not identified the driver. Closing arguments will be heard today in the federal retrial of Brett Hankison. He's a former LMPD detective charged for his actions the night Breonna Taylor was killed.
Hankison finished up testimony in his own defense yesterday. Protesters chanted outside the federal courthouse as Hankison left for the day. During cross-examination, he insisted he identified a threat before firing through the covered sliding glass door and window at the apartment complex. He said, quote, "I had a split-second decision to do nothing and watch people die or shoot back and stop the threat." Attorney Nick Mudd, who is not involved in this case, says that decision is likely to be brought up during deliberations.
It's something that the jury, they'll think about what would they do in that position if they were being fired on. Would they just stand there? If they see their partner getting hit, would they just stand there and not fire back? I think that's going to be something that'll be weighed heavily in the jury room.
During a break from testimony, Breonna Taylor's mother, Tamika Palmer, told our Kim Martinez she felt irritated seeing Hankison on the stand again and that, quote, he doesn't want to take any accountability. After closing arguments for both sides, the jury will begin deliberating. Hankison faces a maximum sentence of life in prison if convicted.
3 more TARC bus routes are being shut down as the agency tries to avoid a crushing $30 million deficit. To make up the loss of routes, the Transit Authority plans to consolidate others, and it's all happening come January of next year. WHAS11's Alex Dieterer and photojournalist Elijah McKenzie report.
I get on the TARC.
Shanice Carson has been riding TARC since she was in high school.
It's been a wonderful experience.
But says she's worried about a looming impact. TARC is cutting more bus routes.
What's going to be harder for people to get around, and it's going to hold up a lot of traffic and a lot, but hopefully they'll get here on time.
More than a dozen changes are coming to TARC routes in January.
We hope we don't have to make deeper cuts like this.
3 routes are being discontinued. Route 22 from the Portland neighborhood to Park Duval, Route 52, which is from Market and 8th Street to the Lumed Hospital, and Route 63, which operates on Crumbs Lane and PRP, Shively, and then into downtown. But is there any plan to reinstate routes that have been discontinued?
At this time, no.
TARC Executive Director Ozzie Gibson says TARC is projected to see a $30 million deficit in 2027 if things aren't changed now, sharing this message with riders who are having their routes discontinued.
First of all, we apologize. We would love to be everywhere, but we only have so much money to go around, and we can't generate no more, okay? Even if we raised our rates, it's not going to be enough to cover a $30 million financial cliff.
All of these route changes are estimated to save TARC $4 million a year. Gibson says the issue is a national one, not having enough drivers to cover all the routes. The changes are expected to go into effect January 26, 2025. Alex Dieterer, WHAS11 on your side.
TARC plans to host 2 meetings in November where you can discuss and share your thoughts on the upcoming changes. We have those details and other ways you can give feedback to the agency in our story on our homepage.
Kentucky's auditor is now launching an investigation after continued reports of foster children sleeping in office buildings. The WHAS11 focus team first reported on the sleeping arrangements in July of 2023 when we learned children were staying in the L&N building downtown. At the time, a spokesperson for the Cabinet for Health and Family Services said the stays lasted between 1 and 3 nights. In a statement, Auditor Allison Ball said her office is still receiving complaints, adding, quote, "The vulnerable children of Kentucky deserve to be placed in nurturing environments where they're provided with the resources, stability, and care they need."
Louisville leaders are proposing changes to the city's mask ordinance that they say will help improve public safety. Mayor Craig Greenberg said he wanted police to enforce the ban after the shooting outside a PRP football game. Police have said the suspects were wearing masks to hide their identities. The revisions include exceptions for health and mask indoors, anyone under 14 or over 60, religious reasons, and holidays or celebrations where masks are usually worn. Officers would also be prevented from stopping people solely because they are wearing masks.
This is not set to target any group of people except for those committing crimes and to lessen their abilities to continue to do that.
The Metro Council still has to approve the amended ordinance. There will be a public hearing tonight at 5 at the Newburgh Community Center. If you want to speak, you do have to sign up in person starting at 4:30.
All right, so let's talk about Halloween, because some communities in southern Indiana are going to be trick-or-treating tonight because of tomorrow's expected rain. Crothersville, Hanover, and Madison will start the festivities tonight at 6. Trick-or-treating for Palmyra and Floyd County has been moved to Friday night. The city of New Albany is sticking to Halloween night, along with Clarksville, Jeffersonville, Sellersburg, and Seymour. In Kentucky, Louisville, E-Town, and Oldham County also plan to trick-or-treat tomorrow night on Halloween. Keep in mind, some individual communities might move their times. We'll continue to update our list for you on WHAS11.com as any changes are made.